I have money locked up on Voyager. I have money locked up on FTX. How am I going to get my money to move it to Coinbase? You can't do that, dude. Like, what are you talking about here? Because the other guys have gone down, and Celsius and all the other crypto companies that went down over the past year, right? Everybody that has money on those, their money's stuck there. It's not like we can be like, oh, FTX went under, oh, Voyager went under. Let's pull our Bitcoin out in Ethereum and put it over here to Coinbase. No, of course we'd all do that if we could get access to it. But guess what? We can't. Use your brain a little bit, dude. I'm like, it's shocking to me. And it's not just him, it's that analyst. It's like, guys, think about this for a moment. Just think about it for a moment. I mean, my gosh, of course we would all love to move our money either off exchanges or to a Coinbase if we could get access to it. But none of us can get access to it, okay? I know so many people that are close to me and had significant sums of money, either on Voyager, FTX, Celsius, all different places. And none of them have access to their money so they can go move it to a Coinbase. It's not the way it works, man. And so that's just like a laughable thing, okay? In terms of long term, Coinbase is a huge beneficiary because when you talk about next fresh money out there, people don't have many options now at this point in time, right? There's Binance as an option, but let's be honest, there's a lot of questions about Binance and if they're the next FTX. A lot of questions about that, right? So when you look out there, it's like you could put it on Robinhood, I guess. Robinhood has a few different, let's call it cryptos. Or you could move it to Coinbase, which is actually known for being a crypto provider. So if anything, I think long term, Coinbase is a massive beneficiary of everything that went down. But like, it's a laughable thing to be like, well, all these ones went under and no one's moving their money. It's like, dude, we can't get to our money. Like, how hard is that to understand? Oh gosh, man, if people just... Big problem with the big banks, and I think this is going to be seen more over this next few quarters, okay? When it comes to these big dog banks, they haven't been upping their CD amounts in any significant way, savings amounts, anything like that. Meanwhile, the more competitive, smaller banks have been doing that. And so what I believe is going to happen is, and this is even something I personally did recently, I moved a bunch of money off of Chase and into another provider for a savings account that yields me, let's call it close to 4%. Because gosh, you know what? I'd rather make 4% on that money I got sitting around than have it with Chase where I get nothing. I mean, pretty much absolutely nothing, okay? And so I think that a lot of people are going to, when interest rates were nothing, you couldn't make anything on a savings account, CD accounts, anything like that, right? People had no problem keeping their money at Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and Bank of America and getting nothing. And they didn't even think about it. But now people are waking up and realizing, oh my gosh, like I can get savings accounts at 3-4%, CD accounts 3-4%, treasuries at 4-5%. Gosh, maybe I should go get some easy money that's FDIC insured. I'm going to go ahead and take that opportunity, right? And so these big guys, they're going to either need to up what they're offering out there, or they need rates to basically be in a massive downdraft so no one considers that. I mean, because think about it. If you could only get 1% on a savings account by moving your money somewhere else, and you get 0% at Chase or Bank of America, a lot of people say it's not even worth it. I'll just keep my money in there. But when it's 4%, whole different scenario, okay? So I think that's an important factor that we got to consider in regards to this. Gold has surpassed the 2011 all-time high. It is now at a new all-time high. Gold, GLD. This is where always investors like to hide out when times are scary, when they're concerned with everything going on out there, okay? It's also a place they like to go when they feel or they see that there's significant money printing coming, or it's either going on at that particular time. Which is why gold hit an all-time high, a previous all-time high in 2011. Because at that time there was double-dip recession fears. We were just coming off of a massive financial crisis. Unemployment was still super high, right? And so naturally at that particular time when it comes to gold, people flooded money there. Plus the government was obviously had stimulus packages out there and just flooding money out to the market that we hadn't really seen throughout, honestly, the history of the United States. It was incredible, right? And so naturally you saw gold go up to an all-time high. Then as things stabilized over the coming years, unemployment started to go down, we had a more normalized market. What ended up happening for gold for years is gold went what's called dormant, and it didn't do a dang thing for years and years and years. Then 2020 happened, a once in a 100-year health event. Boom, gold spikes back up. And ever since then, gold's been in an elevated place until a new all-time high literally today for gold, okay? That shows you how concerned the market is. But what else? There's another something that investors like to put money in when they're very concerned about what's going on out there. Where is that? Well, it is silver. Silver's another place, okay? It's not as popular as gold, certainly, but it's another place. And check out silver. Silver's on its way. I mean, if it could just keep an upward momentum for the next month, this baby's on the way to getting close to a 10-year high. Silver's, as far as SLV, flirting with $23 right now. The 10-year high for silver is $26 right now, okay? And so is it impossible for silver to go there? No. I mean, at this pace, silver could be there in a few weeks from now, to be quite honest, right? If this pace continues. And so this shows you where people or investors are putting money right now. They're putting money into gold and silver, but it's not just that, okay? If you look at natural gas in the Great Financial Crisis, this is a chart of natural gas in the Great Financial Crisis. Natural gas fell 80% plus in the Great Financial Crisis, right? I mean, absolutely extraordinary move for natural gas in that situation. It was bad, right? But what about today? What's going on with natural gas right now? This is a 1 year of natural gas. Over the past 1 year, natural gas is down 64%. That is not from the highs. I could easily cherry pick the highs and we could see natural gas down like what? 70, 80%, right? This is just the past 1 year. 64% drop for natural gas, which just is another telltale sign of the market believing 100% it's convinced recession is here, okay? Investors love to hide out in utilities, okay? Yes, utility stocks, the most boring stocks. No one wants a piece of these stocks ever, except for a situation where people don't know where to put money other than maybe gold, silver. And utilities is a place where people put money in those certain time periods, right? And shockingly, utility stock after utility stock is hitting all-time high right now, okay? This is a utility giant, Consolidated Edison, okay? Con Ed, as they call it, right? And you got to think, right? People always need electric. People always need water. Recession, no recession, doesn't matter, okay? And you look at Con Ed, I mean, this company is at pretty much an all-time high right now. Literally an all-time high in the history of their company. While countless other stocks are still down 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, whatever, right? This company is sitting there doing just fine and dandy, right? I can tell you these stocks won't always be hitting all-time highs because people will get bored of them and then they'll their stock price will go down. But I can tell you in this sort of market, this is where people like to hide money. Duke Energy. I remember Duke Energy from when I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. I can certainly tell you that, okay? Look at Duke Energy. Recently, this stock's been flirting with, guess what? An all-time high in regards to Duke Energy. Isn't that incredible? It goes a bit further. American Waterworks Corporation. What a name for that. Okay, Mr. Monopoly, here we come. This is just the past 3 weeks. The past 3 weeks. 3 weeks, okay? How do you say weeks in Spanish? Look at this. Up 12%, almost 13% in 3 weeks. This isn't Tesla stock. This is a water company. A water company up almost 13% in 3 weeks? That's fishy. That smells like the market is 100% convinced recession. We need to flood money to utilities. And my gosh, there's a flood into utilities. That's a water flood into these babies, okay?